All right, hey guys, what is up? I am back with a new session of talking about high school tips. I'm not really sure how much longer I can go for this because I've pretty much, I think, said it all. But I'm going to go on for as long as I can. And I still have some other topics, but it's been like a few days, so I'm not really sure what to talk about. Look at me getting gypped by the mystery box there. Anyway, I shouldn't even talk about the gameplay because that's bad. Um, but moving on. So one thing to note is that when you are up for it, or when you're kind of in the mood for doing homework, which sounds weird, but sometimes like your tolerance for, or at least my tolerance for homework or projects or school, is a lot higher than other times. And so when you're kind of in that mood, or whatever, you should just take advantage of that and get ahead on other projects or work really hard then, because at that point it kind of feels like oh, school isn't going all that bad, but then a few days later it's like I really don't want to do this. So when you can, just work super hard on your projects. So then you won't have to do it later when you're not feeling up for it. So just do as much work as you can, suffer through it, and then you can relax later. It's kind of that whole gist there. Make sure you manage your free time. I think I've said this before, but just manage your free time is super important because you should take breaks and stuff, but you can, if you just kind of try to plan it out, that can really help you. um, Kind of self-explanatory there. Getting ahead on projects also goes up, or work super hard when you're up for it. Pay attention to class is always good. Do all of the homework. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to do this homework, but then just do it, because if you just do, even if you do a terrible job on it, a lot of times teachers will still give you credit for it. And if they give you a lower grade, it's better than getting a zero on it. And make sure you guys are up to date with what your grades are, because that's like a big influencer. It's influential, I guess, on how you should work and do stuff in school, because if you have you can just kind of know what classes to maybe work harder in. For example, if you like have a B in science, but the rest of your classes are A's, and you have like maybe at that point maybe you should spend more time on science homework or more time studying for science, and that whole deal. And that also kind of goes along with finals. Like this year at the end of or last semester or whatever, for finals, I made sure I was paying attention to what my grades are. And there's also like a little finals calculator. If you just search finals calculator, it should come up for it. And so you can do like some calculating to see what you have to get on it, get on the final to still get whatever grade you're going for, which is kind of cool, because then you can see, oh wow, in math I should spend a longer time because that's the one I need to get the highest grade on, or whatever you want to do there. And really try to do that, because a lot of people are like, well, you should work hard on everything. It's like, no, you should manage. That could be nice if you could work hard on everything, but that's just not really realistic. So you should just work on what you need to work on first, and then you can go back and study for the other stuff if you still need to. Taking breaks is really important, I think. At least for me, like I guess this kind of goes along with another thing too. But like if you do a lot of homework, take a break. If you can still crank it out, go for it. But if you just take like a 5 minute break, go shoot hoops or whatever you want to do, that's pretty helpful. Another thing I like to do, a lot of people say like, oh, if you work without distractions, it's so much better. You do so much better, and that's probably true. But I can just work a lot easier, or I'm able to tolerate school and homework when I like am watching a live stream or listening to a podcast or something like that. And it might not be like the best work, but if it's just some stupid homework thing, it's easier for me to crank out. And it might take longer, but it's more manageable. And usually I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna crank it out. But sometimes it's like I'm really not up for this. I can spend 3 hours on homework if it means that I get to watch a live stream or whatever. So try that. I like some live streams I like watching are TBNR Frags, Incredible Orb. They have good Modern Warfare 3 gameplay and commentary or whatever. And then other miscellaneous people on there, I guess. Podcasts I like to listen to: PKA, KB Mod. I haven't really listened to the Shaft much, but if you're into Minecraft, then that's probably the best Minecraft podcaster. It's really the only Minecraft podcast I've seen. And Rooster Teeth is also a good one, and that's pretty much about it. The Bad Kid Show is just starting up, so if they continue that, that's also it's not. I don't think it's as good, and they only post on YouTube, but it's still pretty solid. So just find some podcasts that you like, because podcasts are just amazing. They can pretty much turn anything into enjoyable. Like if it's something's not enjoyable, then you can listen to a podcast and it'll be better. At least for me. And a lot of people like music, and I guess listen to music helps, go for it. But I don't know. I guess podcasts kind of like take your brain off of the other subject too. So if it's just something stupid, like I said, that can work. And then I guess I'll talk about one topic, then I'll talk about like kind of the sort of final topic I have here, because I worked through this pretty well. I was kind of planning on this taking a lot longer, but I don't know really what else I would say other than these last two topics. So one thing is being a good person. Might be like, oh, that's stupid, whatever. I don't know why you think being a good person is stupid, or you might think, why would that, help schoolwork and stuff like that. But being a good person is just generally good. Like, you're gonna get that good natural karma, I guess. And if you're a good person to other people, they should hopefully be a good person to you. And then you can get, like, if you forget some homework or something like that, you can have them like fax it to you or whatever, or help you out there. If you're a good person, then better things are come to you. So recommend being a good person. And then, at least for me, this is important. This is like, I don't know. It's one of those things, like, you can't really, equate, how big it was for you, I guess. But, I felt it was big. That would be God, or I guess for anyone else, any sort of religion, would be helpful. Like, for one thing, whether God, exists or not, I think he does, obviously, if I'm Christian or whatever. But just like, or whether even he, answered my prayers or whatever. Just kind of like, if I was stressed out about the next day of school, or, worrying about some assignment, most of the time it was just stupid, and it was just, why am I worrying about this? But as soon as I, like, would think about God, or everything's gonna be okay, or, he has a plan for me or something like that. I know that sounds like super cheesy, but that just like calmed me down like crazy. Which, I guess it's kind of ironic, calming someone down like crazy. But like, I would just feel like way better after that. And I think that alone, even if like my prayers weren't answered, like I said before, that alone helped me to be better in school, just, having less stress and stuff like that. Because I don't know, like, I know I should, like, I can't really like force this onto you guys, and it's not really like a tip I can give you guys, but I look into here's kind of like a pause coming up here, or maybe not, maybe that's later on, but look into kind of religion. I guess this is just high school tips, but I guess this is all one big deal here. I would recommend, at least kind of considering, or some sort of religion. Like, I don't know, just have a stance, because it doesn't really matter what religion you choose, or whether you choose to believe in a religion or not, but just, believing in something, and not just being like, oh, I don't know, I think is a big deal. Excuse me. Wasn't really sure how to pause that, and I didn't want to restart the recording. So live sneeze or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to explain, but maybe you guys get the gist. And yeah, so that's I think is probably like, I think that's a big deal, and I've been successful with that. So hey, maybe it'll work for you guys. It's worth a shot. And if you like are atheist or whatever, and like know what you're doing there or whatever, it's like, I'm not forcing my religious beliefs down your throat or anything. I'm just saying what worked for me. Super defensive there. No, I'm kidding. And then one other thing that I realized as I was talking about this is getting perspective. Because getting perspective is super important throughout this whole thing. Because like, there's a lot of drama that goes on in high school, and even grade drama, which is kind of like, I was in like honors classes or whatever, so that's kind of what a lot of the drama I saw, people like stressing out about the grade. And I would like, I would be concerned about my grade, but a lot of people would just like freak out about it, but whatever. But getting some sort of perspective is super important. Like, a lot of times it comes with some sort of injury, or maybe you go to like, if you go to like Africa or something like that, like the poor part of Africa, then you can maybe like see how tough life is and for other people, and how pretty much easy it is for you if you're only worry or concern is with school. So if your only concern, if you're like your main stressor is from school, then you're doing pretty well. Not like maybe you aren't deservedly doing well, but you are doing well, because school is kind of like an extra, a bonus sort of deal. But it kind of turns into, like we kind of lose perspective. So every once in a while, you got to make sure you like get perspective somehow to realize that, okay, if I bomb this class or something like that, it's all right, no big deal. That's happened. At least I'm still alive and not fighting for my life. But it's like obviously balances out to, at least for me, that's kind of what I did, because I would, be more concerned about that than others. But if you're like super like a slacker, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter, like at least I'm still alive, that's kind of stupid or whatever. And another thing to note is that if you like, you're gonna get bad grades during it. Like, let's see, probably my worst grade was at the end of this year when I like failed a math quiz. And it was like one of those smaller math quizzes, like it was like 13, it was like 12, 11, 12, 13 points or something like that. If you missed like 3 questions, you got a C on it. And like everyone missed like the top two, because we like everyone switched the two answers since we never talked about that thing. And then after that, it was just kind of like it was on postulate. Well, it was on postulates, but like proofs and stuff for geometry. And like I had gotten all the stuff right on the homework and stuff like that, but then this quiz, like everyone just kind of bombed. Not as bad as I did, I don't think, but I mean there were people I'm sure that did worse. But you just kind of got to move past that. You gotta learn something from your mistakes and then move past it, and you should be good there. But don't let you're gonna get bad grades and don't let that get you down. Just try to learn from what you did wrong and move on from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here, and if I have any other ideas, I will come back and start talking to you guys.